your canvas is pre-sketched for you. So let's get started. Oh, get sleeves out of the way first. Then you're going to get that white using that square brush, and you're going to start doing diagonal lines through the background, kind of where the sky area is. You can go along the edge of your umbrella pole, and you just keep spreading it out. So we don't want big globs of paint everywhere. You want to try to spread that white out, and that's going to give us a nice layer of white to be able to blend with when we add our color in just a moment. Once you get that, it doesn't matter if you clean your brush or not, just put some blue, a little bit of green. Do not go crazy with the green with it. And then you're going to start to mix and blend those two colors with your white. Again, going on that diagonal so that we have interest in our background. The paint color, again, could be a little more green or a little more blue, depending on what you have chosen to do, and you just keep going. If you end up painting over your actual umbrella a little bit along the edge, that is perfectly fine. It's not going to mess up the rest of your picture. If you realize that your paint starts to get a little bit dry or hard to move around, you can get a little bit of water, just a little bit, and it will help to move that paint around for you. You will add more white and more blue and green as you go along, and it's really kind of up to you as to how you get those colors to show up, how light or dark you're choosing to make them. As you go along, just slow down as you get close to the edges of things, and take your time. It's fun to just slowly paint around the edge. And don't forget, if you paint over something, it's okay. It will come back later when you put the next color on top of it. You're going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. Again, you don't have to clean your brush, and you're going to spread it, and through the art of fast forward, we're going to see it happen really quick. Now we are ready to do our ground. So you're going to start with blue, and then you're going to get some black. I would not use a ton of black because you don't necessarily want the ground to be completely black, because this is just dark puddle of water. So I'm going side to side, horizontal with my brush strokes, and I'm mixing that paint as I go along. Again, if you paint over some of your umbrella, it's okay, and those two colors will just mix and blend. If I think it's a little too light, then I very simply am going to add a little bit extra paint on there, but making sure that I do not leave globs of paint on the actual canvas. We want to blend all that paint out and mix it together, having areas where it's darker and some areas where you see more blue versus black. It's a good variety to have. Now I am finished. Wonderful fast forward. And I've cleaned my brush, and I am going to go ahead and do my pole for my umbrella. I know the steps on the handout say to do the umbrella first, but again, if you make a mistake like I did, you just keep a going with it. It's okay if you do the umbrella and then do the pole. I'm using my square brush, and I've turned it to the side so I have a thinner line. You can of course use the skinnier round brush if you would like to, but just make sure you have plenty of paint and drag that brush right along and you'll have your nice pole. So now I'm cleaning my brush really well because we need to get that red so we can do our actual umbrella. Now I'm going to get the red and I'm going to start to paint the umbrella. I am using the square brush and making sure that I put plenty of that red on. It is okay if it overlaps your sky, okay, and smooth all of that paint out. When you put the paint on, it is perfectly fine if it's in a glob, but then spread it out. It will take just a little while to get this whole thing painted in. So again, we're going to use the art of fast forward and editing. Now I have finished. Make sure you get that little extra mark there of the other side of the umbrella starting to come up. Again, once everything is spread out, you have your nice coat of the red. Then you're going to do the handle at the top. I'm choosing to use my square brush. That does not mean that that's the best way. It just means that's the way that I'm doing it. So you can use the rounded brush if you would like, just filling that in. Make sure that you go careful around that edge and keep it up on its toes. I've cleaned my brush and I am going to start with black, and now I have realized that I need to use the small round brush instead. So I've gotten the black on there and I go along the edge, and these are called the ribs of the umbrella. That really is true because I looked it up, and I'm just going right along the ribs of the umbrella and adding that black to it. You don't want a huge amount of the black, just a little bit will do. And then what I'm going to do is go in one direction and spread that black out. This is blending the shadow to make the umbrella look even more realistic. So I'm going towards, as I refer, the center of the umbrella. If you notice that your paint kind of feels dry, don't worry about it. It will be okay. There is another step to do after this. You go along and you do that on each one. On this one, you're going to want and say, oh, I should go the other direction, but no, stick with it. Keep going one direction with your actual blending or shading. This one over here, you are going to go back the other direction because it's going to be darker. It is on that bottom edge. Once you get that done, then if you notice how it's not blended as well, that's where you're actually going to get, and I'm going to take my time and make sure I blend these globs of paint out. You are going to clean that brush, and then you're going to get more red to go on top of it. And this is going to blend that black into the red. Now I'm not going along the edge of it. I'm blending from the outside of the black and mixing it with it. You're going to keep the dark edge along that rib, and it's going to blend out. And you do this anywhere you feel that that black is a little bit too dark, and you just keep blending until you get it the way that you think it looks the best. Because remember, you are the artist with this. Now we're going to switch to the thin round brush. We're going to get some white on our brush, and we're going to start to make curved lines all over the ground or the water. So where we did the dark blue there on the ground, we're going to make curved lines. You can have big ones and small ones. just keep in mind that things typically are bigger when they're close up, and they're going to be smaller when they're further away. So I'm being really gentle not to press down super hard with my brush, and take my time with that. And you spread them out wherever you think that they should go. Once you're done with that, then you're going to take your brush and diagonally just kind of drag white lines, and it's going to start to look like rain is falling across your canvas. Sometimes you got to turn your canvas a different direction to make it a little easier for you. And it's okay to paint on top of that umbrella and have those raindrops going all over your paper. Once you have spread those large and small raindrops all over your paper or canvas, you are done with your picture. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did making Rainy Day.